Welcome back into Southside Connection. We're with you on the Neighborhood Network. It's BTW21 and BTW21.com. Also at ESPN Southside on Facebook and Twitter, and at BTW21 on Facebook and Twitter. I am the King Ed Lane, and it's Trey Jarrell, a local racer, here with us on Southside Connection. Trey, 15 years of age, yet you've already got 25 top 10s last year, 3 victories as well in your first season of racing. Is it pretty hard to go out and duplicate an impressive rookie year?
A little bit, but we're looking to get a little bit more this year too. We're looking to get a Young Lions National Championship actually. So we had that from last year, and we got that to build on. And we're hoping that we would have put more wins together this year in order to get the championship.
Trey, you get 25 top 10s in 27 starts. I mean, that's pretty impressive. Is really just turning that into victories really the only goal that you guys have, or is that the next step you have to take?
That's pretty much it. Yeah, it's just about winning now, because that's what you have to do to get the championship. Only 25 races count for the INEX series that we're running. So they take your best 25, like I said, and the last several years, the driver that's won the championship has actually won all 25 races. And anyway, it ends up coming down to a national championship race, and that's where it's decided. Last year, there were 3 drivers that had 25 wins, so it's very, very competitive. And it came down to the last lap, actually, with the kid that won it. Made the last lap pass to get the win. The kid that finished second or whatever, finished second in points. Of course, he also had 25 wins.
So no pressure there, huh?
No pressure at all.
Well, Trey, I mean, it seems like it's real easy to say, turn those top 10s and top 5s into wins. How hard is it, though?
It's really not. I got kind of lucky at Dillon. Didn't really have anybody to contend with there earlier this year. But the last 2 races, though, it hadn't gone quite so well. I got a 4th at Rockingham. We struggled with the setup a little bit that day a couple weeks ago. But then we went to Southern National, and I had a really fast car in practice. We got to qualifying. Something went wrong. I'm not really sure exactly what it was. In qualifying, we think it was electrical, so I ended up qualifying 8th. And I had to battle my way up through the field, and I got up to 2nd, and then we had a caution, and they put me back in 3rd for some reason. I don't know. They were having trouble with their scoring or something, but Southern National, they just reopened, so new track. They hadn't been open in like 4 years. But anyway, I ended up getting in a bad wreck there. Got together with another car and went in pretty much head on, so it's kind of ugly. I just had to rebuild my car, and we were supposed to race at South Boston this weekend, but yeah, that didn't happen because of the rain.
A little hail getting in the way, huh?
Yeah.
Have you ever raced in a little bit of hail?
Not quite. Been out there in some wind, a little bit of rain, but
is that what it would look like on TV if you were racing in the hail?
Probably, yeah. The wreck's pretty ugly looking, as you can tell.
Yeah, well, certainly that's not a highlight, Trey, but you go all the way to South Carolina. We'll ask you about that first. Dillon, South Carolina, you get your win there earlier this year. Y'all are based out of Locust, North Carolina. On average for you on a given race weekend, about how much travel and time do you spend in a car that is not actually a race car?
We probably drive down there on a Friday night, 3 hours down. You get a little bit of sleep the night before, then you head to the track. It's about 30 minutes to the track normally, Then you get in the race car, you do all that. Depending on how your race goes, it can be a really long ride home, or it can be, a real positive ride home. You got another 3 hours back, and then I got to get my homework and all that stuff. And then we've also got the race weekends where I might run 2 or 3 races, and that'll really, leave you tired for the next week. So
how do you balance all that? You got homework, you do cross country, swimming as well, and you do racing. Do you ever have time just to chill out and catch your breath?
Every once in a while, around the middle of the week, but I'm normally kind of busy Monday and Tuesday with my homework and stuff. But yeah, I did cross country and swim team. They were kind of in between racing season a little bit to stay in shape for that. So
now, which one of those 2 do you enjoy more?
Probably cross country.
That's the right answer, by the way. I ran in high school, so there's no slight or bias in my tone. Trey, you're fortunate, though, right now at 15 years of age to be running. Kyle Beatty Motorsports seems to have put you in very good equipment so far.
Yeah.
Talk about being able to really be blessed with a great ride early on in your career.
Oh, it's great to know that when I show up at the track, I'm going to have a car that's under me, and I don't have to worry about that. all I have to do is drive. And so that's a peace of mind that a whole lot of people don't have to deal with. So yeah, it definitely helps out.
You mentioned earlier you had one of the races where you had a wreck. There was a scoring technicality as well. Does it get sort of odd when you're in a race and you feel like you're running really well and then some scoring technicality pops up? I mean, how often does that happen?
It's really confusing because we have radios and stuff, but you don't really know what's going on at the same time. So there are things that happen, and you never even know about them. There might be a wreck or something. You have no idea about it till you come back around the next lap, or you might not even see anything. They might have it cleaned up. So yeah, it is kind of odd to be out there and you don't exactly know what's going on, but you just have to focus on the objective at hand, and that's going out and going forward and winning the race.
Well, certainly you get challenges and curveballs that are thrown your way. Of the tracks that you've run on so far, do you have a couple that are your favorite?
Well, Dillon, obviously, down there in South Carolina where I got the win. We ran at Motor Mile in Radford. That was a blast because that track is big, pretty big for our cars, and it's got a ton of grip. I think it's fairly newly repaved. And then, see, what was another one? We went to Bowman Gray. We only got a few laps there, and it ended up raining out, but I pill-drawed the pole, though. I really liked the track there. It had a whole lot of grip, small track, not really my thing normally. I'm more of a big track kind of person. And then, let's see, what else? Southern National was great until the wreck, too. I like big tracks that are smooth, have a whole lot of grip normally. Bumpy tracks, I don't tend to run quite as well, but, I'm still up there.
Now, when people think big tracks in like NASCAR Sprint Cup Series, you're thinking 1.5 miles, 2 miles, obviously Talladega and Daytona. What defines small and big track in your racing's vocabulary?
Yeah, I guess that might help. Quarter-mile track being a small track, half-mile track being a big track. Southern National was about a half mile. I think Motor Mile's 4/10, Dillon's 4/10. Another track we run at Caraway, it's 4/10. So yeah, it kind of depends.
Now, quarter mile is the length of the tracks at like Bassett or at Bassett Stadium or
Yeah.
at Dan Green Stadium. Have you ever gotten the urge to sort of take your car out there and just see what it can do?
I've thought about it. I always kind of wondered what would happen.
That would be a senior prank. You didn't hear that idea here first, by the way. I take no fault or liability if that one actually happens.
Out there, do some burnouts on the football field.
I don't know if Coach Gilbert and Coach Dalton would really like that, but make sure you time it before football season gets started. I'll give you my 2 cents on that. Speaking of driving, risky things, you're 15 years old. We'll ask you when we come back, what's it like to be able to go 100, 130 miles an hour on the track, but not go that fast on the actual highway? We'll discuss when we come back after this, right here on the Neighborhood Network. It's BTW 21 and BTW21.com.
Stands and into the pits with Patrick Henry Community College's Motorsports Degree Program. Gain valuable hands-on experience with the same equipment used by the top race teams in the industry. Learn from instructors with nearly 100 years of combined racing experience.
Patrick Henry Community College is a great way to get started in racing.
Visit our website to learn more about the most exciting motorsports degree program in Virginia. Get out of the stands and into the pits.
At the GRGM Superstore, we have the other dealers' ads, and we have our lower prices.
Proof pricing.
Get proof pricing on all used vehicles.
Pricing that makes sense.
Lower prices, and we can prove it. That's proof pricing.
I got the price I wanted at Nelson.
And every used vehicle comes with a complete 110-point inspection.
Here at Nelson, we can prove we've got the lowest prices.
GRGM Superstore, 930 Ferrystone Park Highway. Everybody knows cars cost less in Martinsville.
It's crazy no one thought of something like this.
How is U.S. Cellular changing wireless for you?
Right now, every phone company has a deal. The rest of the year, I feel like they forget about you. That's what we like about U.S. Cellular's rewards program. You get everything from ringtones to new phones all year. Who wouldn't like that?
Go
visit one of our locations at 301 Liberty Street in Martinsville and 324 TB Stanley Highway in Bassett, also with locations in Eden and Reedsville.
Some people travel the country in search for award-winning ribs. Martinsville takes pride in our very own Tommy Houston and Pigs R Us for taking first-place ribs all across the country. People drive from all around to taste the sweet, juicy smoked ribs with great southern sides. Two great locations to serve Southside, Martinsville, and Danville. Award-winning ribs, something to smile about.
When you see news happening in your neighborhood, give us a call at BTW 21 News, 647-2000, 647-2000, your News Tip line.
Back into Southside Connection here on the Neighborhood Network. BTW 21 on Facebook and Twitter, BTW21.com. ESPN Southside on Facebook and Twitter, and ESPNSouthside.com. You can also hit me up, Edward Lane on Facebook, and Edward H. Lane, the number 2, on Twitter, Edward H. Lane, the number 2. It's Trey Jarrell with us here on Southside Connection. Trey, you've had a chance to race at Rockingham Speedway as well, North Carolina Speedway down in Rockingham. Obviously, a lot of folks are excited because the Truck Series returns there mid-April, the 15th of April, that Sunday. Give us your impressions of racing down there at the Rock.
It's pretty cool going down there, a little different geography. You get down there, it's kind of flat, and you're out there in the country, you're going kind of down of a 2-lane road, out in the middle of nowhere. Then all of a sudden you come up there and there's just big racetrack, immaculate stands, and it's pretty cool going there. We were racing a little quarter-mile track out behind it, but looking at turns 3 and 4 though, when you're out there, it's crazy. Turns 4 there has so much banking. I've never seen anything like it. Like Charlotte and Atlanta, that kind of track stuff. I've been to Charlotte and seen it, but that track though, it's got something special about it.
Have you ever been able to get your car out there for a test drive?
Just to look at it. I'd like to, though. That'd be interesting.
Are you tempted to do it?
A little bit.
There's nothing wrong with being tempted. I'd love to take mine out there at some point in time. Apparently it's real tough on your tires, so you have to be nice and judicious with that.
Yeah.
Well, Trey, certainly it's been an interesting career for you. You've had injuries, an ankle injury, a wrist injury as well. How do you keep going when you're this banged up?
Oh, the ankle injury wasn't so bad. It was just a little bruise, but yeah, I did have a hairline fracture in my wrist this summer, and so that kind of set us back a little bit because I was looking, for a good finish in the Summer Shootout Championship, and that took us out of the hunt for that. But I was able to jump back in though. I qualified second actually my first day back for that, and ended up with a top 5 finish. So it happens, but you just have to know how to overcome it.
Denny Hamlin tears his ACL a couple of years ago and then promptly wins at Martinsville and I think Texas after that. Then you've got Brad Keselowski, who got banged up last summer, goes on to win, 4 races. You get banged up, you're tearing it up on the track. Are injuries sort of a necessary evil in racing?
I don't know. There might be something to it. I think Earnhardt had issues too and never seemed to bother him too much. So
it's like Michael Jordan back in the day. Michael Jordan has the flu. Oh, Michael Jordan scores 45 points. 15 rebounds, 10 assists, and 10 steals, and then everyone wonders whether it really was sick or not. You certainly have been able to overcome that and show toughness. What does that show for the crew, though? Clearly, it seems to give them an added respect for you.
Yeah, I definitely think that they can tell, my passion's there. I'm giving it everything I got every race. And it definitely helps, too, with a little bit of camaraderie between us. They're obviously a lot older than me, but it's still, it still matters.
Is it odd at all with the age difference between the two of you guys, or is it just sort of, once you're at the track, it's more of a business thing for everyone?
It's pretty much a business thing, we've known each other for about 3 years now. I've been working with them since 2010, so, we're all really used to other, and it's business as usual when we get to the track.
Well, Trey, you've had the opportunity to race on the track. You're 15 years of age. I've got to ask you this. Do you have your learners yet?
No.
Are you a little worried when you get your learners that you might have lead foot?
I don't think so. I get enough of that on the racetrack, but you never know. I hope not.
Is that something that is going to be weird then? Because you're able to go, 130, 140 on the racetrack. All of a sudden you got to bottle it up and obey those little signs that say speed limit.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be weird. I'm thinking about driver's ed class next year. That's going to be really weird. You teach you how to park, and this sign means that. And I don't know. It's going to be odd.
Now, when you're in driver's ed, are you going to be giving the teacher some pointers here and there?
I wish. I don't think so.
Trey, certainly you've got a great career ahead of you. What are your ultimate ambitions as time progresses? How do you envision yourself moving up the racing ladder?
Next year, we'd like to either go with the NASCAR Late Model Series or go with Super Late Models, and then K&N, ARCA, Truck, Nationwide, wherever it may be. But obviously the ultimate goal is to get a cup, though, and get with a good team there and defend for championships. Dreaming.
Yeah, hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
You got plenty of time to do that. You've been able to do a lot in your racing career. Trey Jarrell with us here on Southside Connection. Trey, we really appreciate your time today.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Great luck to Trey Jarrell. We want to thank him for his time here on Southside Connection on the Neighborhood Network. BTW21.com, also at BTW21 on Facebook and Twitter, your home for news, weather, and sports with Kip Wallace and Jamie Singleton, 6 and 11 p.m., 5, 6, and 7 a.m. on the Neighborhood Network. Of course, Southside Connection, the radio version.